What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm bringing you highlights from a very heated exchange on Capitol Hill. Senator Josh Hawley questioned President Biden's small business nominee, Delaware Syed, and the conversation got straight into some serious territory: Israel, political organizations, and where this nominee really stands. Let's break it down. So here's how it started. Senator Hawley thanks the committee, then turns right to Delaware Syed. He brings up an organization Syed served on the board of Engage Action. This group made several controversial statements about Israel, and Hawley wanted Syed to go on the record about them. Right away, Hawley asked, "Do you agree with those statements, or do you distance yourself from them?"
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to the ranking member, Senator Ernst. Thanks to the witness, too. I apologize. I've come from another hearing where I was the ranking member. Let me, Mr. Syed, say thanks for being here again today. It's been a while since we talked last, and a lot has happened since then. I imagine you've been asked about a number of these questions, but I just want to make sure that we've covered the waterfront on this. Let's talk about Engage Action and the statements they made regarding the state of Israel, so we can get this satisfied, these questions fully answered. Again, I'll take a look at what you've said to other citizens. As you know, Engage Action made a number of statements about the state of Israel. You served on their board. What would you say about the statements that this organization on whose board you served made, and how would you separate yourself from them?
Senator, good to see you. My allyship with the Jewish community, my work with Israel as a partner, both at the State Department and as a businessman all my life, I think speaks for my take on this issue. I have worked with Israel-based companies. I've mentored Israeli entrepreneurs my entire life. In my current role as a public servant, I'm advancing U.S. commercial interests around the world, including partnering with Israeli entrepreneurs. And so I think that is what I stand for. I'm not going to be able to speak for Engage's position on these. I have clearly shared with the board, with the committee, in the previous process as well, as to where I stood on the questions that were asked of me.
Let me just, so you say you can't speak for Engage Action, so let me just ask you your own view.
That's when Hawley pressed him harder. He asked point blank, "Do you believe Israel is an apartheid state?" Something Engage Action had claimed. Syed responded that he's worked with Israeli businesses, mentored entrepreneurs, and partnered with Israel during his time in government. And then finally he said, no, Israel is not an apartheid state. Hawley didn't stop there. He brought up another Engage Action statement that supported a House member who once equated Israel and the United States with Hamas and the Taliban. Hawley asked, "Do you see Israel as morally equivalent to a terrorist organization?" Syed finally gave a direct answer, saying, "No, those are not my views." By the way, before I get into the rest of this tense back and forth, if you're following these hearings and want to keep up with all the latest clips and breakdowns, make sure to click that subscribe button right now so you don't miss any updates.
Engage Action has said that Israel is an apartheid state. You don't believe that, do you?
Senator, I have been very clear about my positions. I have not spoken. My position on Israel is I have engaged with Israel. At the State Department, I'm engaging with Israel as a senior official.
Can I just get a yes or no? I think that this should be, pretty easy. Is Israel an apartheid state?
It's a specific term. I don't believe it's an apartheid state. And so that's, again, my work and how I work with Israeli businesses and entrepreneurs speaks for how I'm treating that ally of ours.
Okay. Engage Action issued a statement of support after a House member equated Israel and the United States to Hamas and Taliban terrorist organizations. Do you think that Israel is an moral equivalent of a terrorist organization?
Senator, as I said earlier, I am not speaking for the organization.
No, I'm asking you. This is meant.
Those are not my views.
Oh, good. I'm just looking for a yes or no. These are meant to be easy questions.
Those are
super
not my
easy.
Views.
Okay, so the answer is no?
The answer is no.
Okay.
Then came the sharpest exchange. Hawley quoted engage action again, this time calling Israel an occupier. He asked Syed directly, do you agree with that statement? Yes or no? But Syed kept circling back to his personal record, saying he's worked with the Jewish community and supported Israel commercially. He never gave the yes or no Hawley was pressing for, which left the senator visibly frustrated.
Good. Engage Action has issued a statement calling for a ceasefire in which they said that the current state of affairs is not a case of both sides being responsible. The state of Israel is an occupier when it comes to the Palestinians. Do you agree with that?
Senator, let me just say this, and I'm happy to clarify further, but my entire career is I have engaged with the Jewish community. As I mentioned earlier, I have engaged with Israel as a business person. That speaks for my record.
Yeah, but can we just answer my question? I mean, do you, I heard all of that, but my question is this, do you think that the state of Israel is an occupier?
Could you elaborate occupier?
No, I'm reading to you from Engage Action. Quote, this state of affairs is not a case of both sides. They have that in quotation marks. Not when Palestinians are occupied and the state of Israel is the occupier, end quote.
Senator, I'm going to speak for what I believe in, what my values are.
Yeah.
And my values are that I have worked with Israel. I've advanced a commercial interest with Israel.
But do you agree with that statement? Just yes or no? I'm just trying to give you an opportunity to
statement, Senator.
I know that. That's why I'm asking you if you agree with it or not.
So, Senator, I am not going to be able to speak for Engage's statements. Engage does not speak for all my views. And my views on Israel and my work with the Jewish community in the United States and around the world, I've made that abundantly clear. And a lot of the allyship that I have in this room also reflects on that the incredible support I have in the Jewish community.
By the end, Hawley admitted his time had run out and said what many were thinking. He thought these should have been simple questions with simple answers. Instead, he promised to send Syed written questions for the record to clarify his views. It was clear Hawley wanted very clear lines drawn, and Syed wasn't going to fully go there in the hearing.
Well, my time's expired, and I have sorely tried the patience of the chairman and the ranking member, who've been very gracious to hold this hearing open. So, I think what I'm going to do is I'll give you some questions for the record. I mean for this to be easy. I thought your position is that you didn't agree with any of those things. I just wanted to get that on the record. Maybe I've misunderstood. If I have misunderstood, then I'm really concerned. But I'll give you some questions for the record, and we can just put it in writing, and that way we'll allow you to go. I think you've been here a long time. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Senator.
This was one of those exchanges that really shows how much scrutiny nominees face, not just for their own words, but for the organizations they've been tied to. Hawley made sure to press every angle, and Syed tried to stand by his record without owning those controversial statements. What do you think? Did Syed handle this well, or should he have answered more directly? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for more highlights from Washington.